Hello and welcome everyone on this official platform of Legacy IAS Academy. What if I told you that a missile developed by India could become the biggest nightmare for Chinese warship in South China Sea? जी हाँ, that one strategic move by the Philippines backed by India could tilt the balance of power in Indo-Pacific. Not tomorrow, but right now. So as you can see here, the headlines that Marcos in India, why naval version of BrahMos is a game changer Philippines needs most. So let's try to understand that the world is watching and the stakes are rising in geopolitical strategies. So amid rising maritime tensions, a silent but powerful transformation is unfolding, not through big wars, but through quiet alliances and precision missiles. जी हाँ, the BrahMos, a supersonic missile born from Indo-Russian cooperation, has already entered Filipino shores. But what is the real game? But the real game changer is not on land. It is out at sea on moving warship in the contested waters where, remember this thing, where mobility means survival as well as power. So, and just as the president, अभी recently president आए हैं कहाँ के? Philippines के. So just as President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., as you can see here, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., he lands in India for high stakes 5-day visit. The timing could not be more explosive. So what we are going to discuss in this video, we will decode why static missile defense is outdated, how naval BrahMos version can outwit even China's navy, and why this moment marks a bold new chapter in India-Philippines defense cooperation with global consequences. So stay with me till the end, because what we are about to uncover is not just a regional update. It is a signal to Beijing. It is a signal to Washington and the entire world that the Indo-Pacific chessboard is being redrawn on one supersonic missile at a time. So what is the context of the news? What is happening? So as you can see here, so the context here is that the Philippines recently received its first BrahMos shore-based missile, okay, from India. Now this is a major upgrade for Philippines, which is giving it a long-range, accurate missile that can target the enemy ships. But experts का क्या कहना है इस पे? Expert says that just having land-based missiles is not enough to really protect its seas. The Philippines need BrahMos missiles on ships, a naval version missile. And in this scenario, who is visiting? So President Marcos Jr. India visit can be seen. So as you can see here, President Marcos Jr. India visit. Now let's try to understand that the President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. of the Philippines visit India on 5th of August, that means today, and he was invited by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Ji haan, he is invited by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and his visit comes one day after India and the Philippines began a joint naval exercises in Philippine Sea. As you can see here, India and Philippines also started the joint naval exercises in Philippine Sea. Now, Philippine Sea is near to the South China Sea, which is a disputed area. Now, this visit actually signals the closer defense ties between the two countries, that is India and Philippines. Now, the question here is, why are BrahMos missiles so important? So now try to understand. First of all, BrahMos, it is a supersonic cruise missile which is very fast and powerful. And the land-based version gives Philippines a strong defense, but only in fixed locations. A problem kya hai? If you see the problems, so as you can see here, so the problem here is these fixed launchers cannot move, है ना? So once the enemies knows where they are, they can be attacked or avoided. Okay. Now, why naval version of BrahMos is better? So we need to understand why naval version of BrahMos is better. First of all, ships with BrahMos missiles, they can move around. They are harder to detect and harder to hit also. That is why these ships now these ships can patrol large ocean areas also, and especially disputed zones like Spratly Islands. So as you can see here, disputed zones like Spratly Islands in South China Sea, as you can see here. This is the disputed island and this comes under the jurisdiction Philippines, है ना? But China ने यहाँ पर क्या करा हुआ है? China has already created artificial island 9-9 in South China Sea. Clear? So China has been aggressive in those areas, so the Philippines needs the mobile firepower to respond quickly. Now, apart from this, if you see the geography, Philippines geography is a special case. Why Philippines geography is a special case? As you can see here, large number of group of islands are there in Philippines. Okay, as you can see here, see this map of Philippines. Group of islands are here, and a scattered island. So try to understand that the Philippines is actually made of over 7,000 islands which spread across a vast maritime area. So land-based defense cannot cover all these islands, 7,000 islands. That is why the ships with BrahMos missiles, they can cover more areas, they can go to remote locations and they can stay hidden. Now, with respect to this, there is a need for network defense system. Now, what is this network defense system? See, modern navies, they work in a network. मतलब क्या है इसका? Where ships, aircraft, drones, radars, they actually share information in real time. And a ship with BrahMos, they can act as a central hub. They can act as a central hub, launching missiles based on what other units detect. Okay. So we can consider it as a good news. है ना? So good news for Philippines, that Philippines is already prepared now. अब हमें ये समझना होगा that BrahMos, which is used by the Philippines Marine Corps and the one used in ships are based on the same missile technology, which means training and maintenance becomes easier. Now training and maintenance becomes easier. Second important thing, logistics becomes more efficient. Logistics become more efficient. So third important thing, what they can do, Marines as well as Navy, they can use these shared tactics and they can operate together smoothly. So Filipino troops, they have already been trained in India to use this system. They have already been trained. So overall we can see here, है ना? So overall we can see that adding the ship-based BrahMos missile would show some of the things, like the Philippines is serious about protecting its water. Second, it is ready to defend itself against the threats like China. And now we can say that Philippines is growing as a modern military power and build a stronger ties with India. So this is very important from the perspective of Philippines. So overall, we can see that the message is loud and clear with the visit of Philippines president, that the Philippines is done playing defense from the shoreline. Now, with India's BrahMos missile on its warship, it is preparing to write its own rules in a region which overshadowed by the aggression and power politics. So this is not about just one missile system. It is about a new doctrine of deterrence, which is very fast, mobile, as well as unpredictable, that forces even a superpower like China to think twice before the encroaching. And you can see here, as Marcos Jr. steps onto Indian soil, history is being rewritten, not just in a political speeches or you can say military drills, but in the shared resolve of two democracies to protect freedom of navigation as well as sovereignty in one of the most contested waters on earth. So for India, this is more than arms export. It is about strategic diplomacy. And for Philippines, it is like a leap from the strategic fear to the dynamic strength. So we can see that for the world, this is actually a preview of the next phase of Indo-Pacific realignment. So what do you think? Will the Naval BrahMos finally turn the tide in South China Sea? So drop your thoughts in the comment section and do not forget to like, share and subscribe our channel Legacy IAS Academy if you believe knowledge is the strongest weapon in today's world. Until next time, stay curious, stay sharp, and remember, power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just launches at Mach 3. Thank you so much.